Okay, so we're going to talk about section 5.1. So all of unit 5 is about solving quadratics. So we're going to use different techniques to do that, okay? So the first thing we're going to use is factoring. So if you struggled with factoring, please email me and I can do some factoring review with you in a one-on-one Zoom. You can search on YouTube and just do factoring problems, solving by factoring, anything. If you really don't know how to factor, then you will need to skip this section. If you don't want to come and get help, I'm more than willing to help you. Okay, so the idea is once you have a quadratic equation that is factored, there's a rule called the zero product property, and the key is 0, okay? So the equations have to all be set equal to 0. So if they're not, that means you need to get everything to one side, and then you can take each factor and write them as separate equations that are set equal to 0 and then solve, okay? So that's the idea. So why we would want to do this is a lot of reasons. We learned from graphing when our equation is equal to 0, that's where the graph crosses the x-axis. So that will help us find our roots, our zeros, our x-intercepts, they're all the same thing. Sometimes they want to know when an object hits a ground on an application, when our profit is 0, when our break-even point, things like that. And also by factoring, it helps us solve a quadratic equation. Okay? But the key is this solving only works with 0. If you try solving it with another number and not moving everything first, it does not work. So how do we do it? Notice my first rule is to get all terms to one side. It will help if you put them in order because you are factoring. This can be perfect square factoring, trinomial factoring, grouping factoring, whatever it takes. Once everything's to the same side, that means that you have equals 0. That's what you want. Then step 2 says we're going to factor it, whatever it takes. Then we split up the factors and we set them each equal to 0 and then we solve them separately. Okay? So warning, I've already said this though, but solving an equation that is not set equal to 0, it does not work. Okay? Mathematically, it's just been proven that you have to do it this way. So some of these, they go from easier to hard. Some of them will be given to you in factored form. So if you do struggle with factoring, you should be able to do those problems. And maybe you can do some factoring, but not all types. So I have 8 examples to kind of help walk you through and to review factoring with you. Okay, you can watch as much as you need. If you watch a few and you think you got it, then go ahead and try the student practice. All right, so let's look at example number 1. So we do have the equals 0. That's step 1. This is already factored, so step 2 is done. So step 3 says we're going to take these factors, 3n minus 2, and we set each of them equal to 0. 4n plus 1 equals 0. Okay? And we're going to treat them as 2 separate equations. So on this one, I want to get the n alone. So we're always going to add or subtract first. You do the opposite. So the 2's cancel. We're going to bring down that 3n, since we haven't done anything with it. 0 plus 2 is 2. Now, the 3 times n is being multiplied, so to get n alone, we'll divide by 3. So n equals 2/3. That's one of our answers, one of our roots where it will cross the x-axis. On the other equation, we want to get the n alone. So we have to move the 4 and the 1. We always do the adding or subtracting first, but we do the opposite. So 4n equals -1. These 2 are being multiplied, so we want to divide by that 4. So n equals -1/4. Okay, so fractions are fine, but we have 2 answers. And typically with quadratic equations, you should always have 2 answers. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. All right. Okay, so let's look at example number 2. So step 1, we already have the equals 0, so that's done. So then I want to look at factoring. When we have 2 terms, that was perfect squares. Okay, and so we want to split these up into 2 of the same numbers. 36 is 6 times 6. One's positive, one's negative. And we get 2 separate parentheses. The x's are first, and the 6's are at the end, and it still stays equal 0. So step 3, I'm going to take each of those parentheses and set those equations equal to 0. So then if we solve, we'll subtract 6. So x equals -6. And then we want to add 6. So x equals +6. Okay, so that's factoring by perfect squares. All right, example number 3, we don't have an equals 0. So I try to recommend keeping the n squared term positive. So we want to move both of these terms to the left. So we're still going to do the opposite, and we can move them at the same time. So when we put them in order, I'm going to put the n squared first, then I put the n term, and then I put the number. Everything on this side crossed out, so now we do have that equals 0. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3 terms. So this was the AC method. All right, so that says we take the first term times the last term, and I'm going to do it on the side. And we need the factors of 18 that multiply, then when we add, give us 9. So we got to think, well, I know 2 times 9. So if I add, I get 11. If I subtract, I get 7. I want 9 though. So we have 6 times 3. If I add, I get 9. Ooh, that's what I want. So we split it up with the n's, and then we rewrite this middle term. So n squared, and then I use these two factors to rewrite that 9. So I get plus 6n plus 3n. See, that's still 9. Plus the 18 equals 0. So then we do grouping. I look at the first two terms and I say, what do they have in common? Well, they have an n in common. And then I look at the next two terms, I say, well, what do they both divide by? Well, they both divide by +3. So if I divide by 3, I get n. Divide by 3, I get 6. The outsides go in a parenthesis, and the repeat terms go in a parenthesis. Okay, so we have just factored. So now I'm going to set the factors equal to 0. So subtract 3. So n equals -3. Subtract 6. So n equals -6. All right. Okay, so same idea on example 4. I don't have a 0. I have my k squared on the left, so I want to move this k term to the left as well. So we'll subtract 33k. So there's no other k term, like k to the first, so I can just put these in order. So I've got 3k squared minus 33k plus 72. Okay. Well, from here, I could do the AC method, but what I notice is that all of these terms divide by 3. So that's what I want to do, because if I make these smaller, it will actually make factoring a little easier. Smaller numbers help. And notice how I divided everything by 3 because you have to be fair. So we get k squared minus 11k plus 24. So I want to do the AC method. So I'm going to do it up here. I've got k squared times 24. So 24k squared. And I need the factors of 24 that will give us 11, -11 actually. So I can think of 6 times 4, which if we add gets 10, if we subtract is 2. We want 11. 8 times 3, if I add gets 11, so if we want it negative, I need to make sure they're both negatives, and then they both get the k's. So we're going to rewrite that as -8k minus 3k. Okay, so that's the AC method to start. And then we do grouping. So we're going to take out a k. And then these, remember I want to get k minus 8, so I need to divide by a -3. So the outsides go together and the repeat terms go together. So then I'm going to take k minus 3 equals 0, k minus 8 equals 0. So then I'll add 3 and add 8. Okay, let's look at example 5. I have my equals 0, so that's good. I've got two terms, but they're not perfect squares. So remember, we always want to also look at common factoring first. So these two terms both divide by 4 and they have an x in common. So that's what we want to divide both of them by. So I'm left with x squared and then minus 25. So then this I can look at as perfect squares. So one's plus, one's minus. So I get 4x, and then I have two parentheses, x, x, one's plus, one's minus. Okay. Now, this time I actually have three things. So this is a term, this is a term or a factor, and this is a term. And then we want to solve. Since these are being multiplied, we're going to divide. So x equals 0 is an answer. I'll subtract 5. So x equals negative 5. And then I'll add 5. So x equals positive 5. All right. So on example 6, I have a lot of terms on both sides, so I don't see a 0. So we need to get everything to one side. So I look at my squared terms and I see that this 3 is a little bigger. So if I move everything to the left, it should be positive to start with. So I'm going to add 3v squared and I'll line it up with the other v squared. And then we'll subtract 6v and line that up as well. There's like a negative 1 there. Okay. So I know that's 0, that's 0. So I do get 0 on the right. Negative 2 plus 3 is 1v squared. Negative 1 plus negative 6 is negative 7. And then I still have that plus 12. So then since we have three terms, that turns into the AC method again. So we're going to take v squared times 12. And I need the factors of 12 that will add to give us 7. So I'm going to try 3 times 4. Well, 3 plus 4 is 7, so if we want negative 7, it means they're both negative, and they both get a v. So we're going to rewrite that middle term. So v squared, and then minus 3v minus 4v, and we still have that 12. Okay, then we do grouping. The first two terms have a v in common. The next two terms I can divide out a negative 4. So I get v and then minus 3. And my parentheses match, so remember that means you did it correctly. The outsides go together and the repeat terms. So then I take each factor and set it equal to 0. And now we want to solve. So if I add 4, and if we add 3, and so look, we're getting 2 answers. All right, let's look at example 7. No 0, I know my n squared's on the left and it's positive, so we want to keep everything on the left. So if I subtract 65, I don't have anywhere to line it up, but it's going to go in the middle. So 10n squared minus 65n minus 35. And these are really big numbers, so I want to see if they will all divide by something and make them smaller. Well, they don't divide by 10, but we can divide all terms by 5, and that will help. Big numbers just make it a little harder. So we get 2n squared minus 13